That one glorious word represents more than just the geography between the Sabine and the Rio Grande. It represents a unique idea and way of life. A life of rugged individualism, proud self-reliance, gritty toughness, and fierce independence. That is what made Texas, and that is what will save her again. Howdy, folks. Sam Houston here. I want to thank you for tuning into the Feed Bandit podcast. Feed Bandit is the Texas first outdoors brand built by rabid Texans, for rabid Texans, and all those who aim to be one someday. We unapologetically promote the ideals that shape our Texas pride and Texas first patriotism through our love of hunting, the outdoors, and the gear and apparel we create. Texas, above all else, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Check us out at feedbandit.com. And to repeat that great rallying cry from a former colleague of mine, liberty or death. Now, enough of my talking. Here are a couple of bandits that love Texas as much as I do. Enjoy.
All right, we're on. Well, howdy, folks. Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast. Jimmy back with you. And I am joined by the Corn Bandit, Richard. What's going on?
Hello, everybody. It's normally I think we have a more peppy, more hyped intro, but State of Texas is sad lately.
It's
no doubt about it.
Pretty crazy. So we're recording this on the 10th of July.
Yeah.
And man, I think I saw it's up to 180 people they found from the floods out there and the Guadalupe.
Yeah.
That so Saturday morning, or Thursday, we met some friends on the river at a house on River Road, outside New Braunfels. Really kind of
that's not the River Road.
Oh yeah, it's River
39.
Road. No. Oh no, that one. No.
Yeah.
No, not that one. This is the Guadalupe River Road.
Oh, okay.
Not the. It won't make you vomit when you're driving.
Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah. But we got to the house on Thursday. Everything was sunny and whatnot, and then we woke up Friday morning, and it was raining. But it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
too bad. And we actually got in the river in the afternoon at the house. So we rented this house, kind of right on off River Road, south of Sattler. Okay. And Sattler is south of the dam, but not that far from the dam of Canyon Lake.
Right.
Kind of at the north of River Road.
Okay.
And look, the house we were at, really awesome house. I'd love to live in it if I could. It was about 50 feet above where the river is.
Okay.
So quite a, walk down to the river. So, it started raining, I think, Thursday night. I mean, it did, and it kind of rained a lot all night, blah, blah.
Well, and let me interrupt you. I mean, every time it rains in Texas, we're so excited.
Yeah, I was.
It rains in the summer. That's an extra level. And then for me, at least, every time it rains and I'm outside and I'm cloudy and I'm doing something that involves me being wet, like in the river, as long as there's no thunder or lightning, I'm like, oh, this is heaven.
Yep.
It keeps the sun away,
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it rained a lot, but where we were, the river hadn't moved, nothing had happened. So we got in the river in the afternoon in the middle of the rain. I mean, it was raining off and on.
Right.
It was full of people, everything, I mean, floaters and everything. Not just duty, but people floated.
Right.
And then it started really raining that night, a lot. And we just kind of hung out at the house. I mean, it kind of off and on, but heavy kind of downpours and stuff. And then in the middle of the night, man, that's when it hit us where we were. Right. Like it was, just rained all night. And we woke up Saturday morning and it was coming down like I'd never seen it come down before.
Really?
At least here.
Right.
Since we moved down here, right. And that's when we were getting all the reports the next, right. Like Saturday morning of like all this stuff happening. I mean, Callan's texting me, back and forth. I called him to see what was going on.
Yeah.
So we have a buddy that lives in Kerrville, so we're getting up to date kind of up to date stuff on that and everything, and it just kept raining and raining. And when we woke up, the part of the river where we were, it was starting to turn brown, but the water hadn't risen at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat there and watched it, just cats and dogs living together for about 3 hours straight.
Wow.
I mean, it is unbelievable. I've never seen this much rain. So that was all the stuff that went through there, and it was coming now to where we were. And because we're south of the dam.
Yeah, well, and you're probably thinking, oh my God, this is, finally this rain-starved area is getting so abundant rainfall, and then after it's rained so much, it becomes a runoff of things. So you're thinking Canyon Lake, this is great, McQueenie, and all the other water sources that hadn't had anything the past couple of years.
Right. Well, at that point, we hadn't really heard like the whole consequence of the flood in Kerrville. It's like, there's a major flood, but whatever, all that stuff. Yeah. So it's like, I'm thinking, oh man, well, in a way that's what was needed, because that water flows down into Canyon Lake, and it's going to go to go there.
That's it. Yeah, it was a good. We thought it was a good thing.
Yeah. But as the day went on, and all the stuff started coming out, the sun was started coming up, and everyone started seeing what was going on. It was like, oh my God, like no one, had any idea it was going to be like that.
Right.
Right. But that's when about 11 o'clock or so, I guess, where we were on the river, the water started rising.
Yeah.
Because of the massive runoff. Because remember, we're south of the dam.
Right.
And to this point right now, Canyon Lake, they have no plans at all to release any of the water that came from, Kerrville and Hunt and all that stuff.
Right.
Because it's got to fill. The lake was at 46% full.
Right.
Prior to all that stuff happening.
Right.
So they're just going to keep it.
Do you know what? Yeah. Well, do you know what it is now? I thought I saw something the other day said it was 67%.
I was going to look that up, because there it is. So 2 days, I think I looked a day ago, it was like, over 60%. What is today, the 10th?
60%. That's what it is.
Right now, water data, 63% as of yesterday.
Oh.
So it went from 46% to 63% with that rain. That's 37% of the lake is only like 8 feet. Of water,
Well, and the fact that it could raise the capacity that quickly,
it's crazy.
That is and I'll tell you, I always joke with a lot of our buddies at the Rancho Bandito when they say, "Oh, look at that tank! It's dry as hell. It'll never fill up. And you come the next weekend and poof."
Oh, every tank around here the ones I drive by, we drive by every day going into town and stuff, and everything else, they're totally full to the top.
I imagine
standing water all around them. You can't even get to these ponds, to these tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
But around 11 or 12, the river started rising, and we sat there just watching it, and took about 30 minutes to rise about 15 feet. We were watching it we marked it like across the way. These people have steps going down to the river across. They're like marking it like that, and it got about 15, 16 feet, and you could watch it going like this as it was slowly coming through. I've never seen anything like that. And then just a bunch of crap. But the thing about it is, none of that water that we saw, that 15 feet, it was any of the water that went through Kerrville.
Right.
And all that.
Right.
None of it. It was all from more rain from that system that fell south of Canyon Lake Dam.
Yeah.
And the scary thing about it is in 2012, I think it was, or 16, something like that. Canyon Lake Dam, or it overflew or overtook right to the right of the dam because the lake was so full after so much rain, and it created a gorge. It's called the Canyon Gorge.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of that.
If the saving grace here is, I mean, if Canyon Lake hadn't been like even, I mean, I guess as low as it was, and it couldn't hold all that rainwater.
Right.
I mean, what happened in Kerrville would have happened in New Braunfels and on down. You know, I mean, because there's no way it could have held any of that water. Right. So I mean, it ironically, or whatever you want to say, the good thing was that the lake was that low, just to be able to corral all that water, so that same devastation wouldn't have happened all the way to Seguin, maybe, or something. Or past
you bring up a really, really good point. I never even thought about that. Like, it's a blessing almost that Canyon was that empty. Because God, you're exactly right. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've talked on this podcast a lot, and I've lamented a lot about how it never rains here and how dry it is.
Wow. I know. Well, and then talking to our friend, in the hill country, we just talked to him I just talked to him a couple months ago, and this is when the Bandito was getting just slammed. He was like, "How are y'all doing on ranch? I'll give you some." We are our cup overfloweth. And he said, "Oh, we're dry as bone. We hadn't had a single drop." I'm like, "God, how is that possible?" And then, of course, all of a sudden, here you go. And needless to say, I know we kind of jumped in talking about the lake levels and just your experience with it, but obviously our hearts and everything we got go out to the people that have been affected by this. It is otherworldly, and I've got two girls, one's 10 and one's 14, and trying to explain to them exactly how this happened was obviously a bit of a challenge. Trying to explain to them that they just, well, how can this happen? Didn't they see it coming? And we were talking to work the other day about about flash flood. How many times on your phone do you get Collin County, at least for us, Collin County flash flood? Like,
right?
We don't even think about it. And then of course, now here you go. But that was got sidetracked. One of the things I told my girls is that river, the Guadalupe and the Comal and all the rivers in Texas have brought life and joy and laughter to thousands and thousands of people over the eons. Since its existence. I mean, it is literally the lifeblood of that area going back for so long. And that river has always been a great thing, but of course now, and then these things happen. This is not the first catastrophic flood. Maybe with recorded history, I think it probably is, at least on the Guadalupe, but
I mean, it's a little, I think it's not as high as the one in 87.
Is that the one that took the bus away? Did you hear about that one?
Yeah. So, but it was the way it hit, when it hit, like how it hit and all this stuff, like in the middle of the night on July 4th, when there's so many visitors that are camping on the river. I mean, it's just like the absolute worst possible time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I told my girls, I said that this, and I always say it. I've been saying it for years. You cannot play God. You cannot, or Buddha, or the Force, or whatever you believe in. Okay, you can't do it. Okay, and us as man-made stuff, alarms and sirens, and pure grit, it is still not enough to beat Mother Nature. Okay, Mother Nature is, if she wants to, is always going to win in the end. And this is just a horrific example of that. Again, a body of water that's given so much pleasure to so many people. For something like this to happen is just beyond catastrophic.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is. And I'm actually going to be recording one here shortly that is going to deal. We're all obviously and rightfully so. We're talking about the human element of this and the damage it's caused. The human factor as far as loss of property, loss of land, obviously loss of life. and all that. But one of the things that I'm going to cover is the wildlife impact of this. And, and then something that I've been thinking about are game fences. Game fences in the area. Something that I don't know if a lot of people probably are, but the Guadalupe bass, okay? They fish in Texas. Ironically named because it lives in the Guadalupe River. What's going to happen to that? What has happened to that?
Yep.
What happens when you've got 50 diesel trucks in whose tanks explode or drain out in the river. Now of course it's a river, so obviously all that stuff's going to go downstream, and as I've said, Mother Nature is more powerful than anything that man can do. So I have no idea. I have no doubt that the river will kind of cleanse itself, But that's something that I want to talk about because you hadn't heard a lot about that, and again, rightfully so. We're focused on the human element of this for sure.
Right. Yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing that one.
Yeah.
When it comes up, I look forward to editing that podcast.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you. I'll tell you one little thing I'm going to talk about is they found a I don't know if it was a heifer or a cow on the ocean.
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So how did it get past the dam?
I have no idea.
It had to be, or all the dams on there.
I have no idea, but they were contributing. Now they has an ear tag, so they'll be able to figure out where it was from. I don't think it was from that area, but it was the carryover of that rain that swelled the Guadalupe further down or some other river. And there's this black baldy cow sitting on the damn beach, and
people are alive.
Yeah, people are like, what the hell? When that storm first started coming through, we were on our way down to Port Aransas, and we that storm. Let's see, that storm that did the damage. We were in the first remnants of it, probably stuff that you were getting when it just started to fall. And this was we were on 130. We actually passed over the Guadalupe. Now, of course, we were way east,
right?
Where you guys were, but it was substantial rainfall. I mean, it was incredible to where we were on 130, which is, the speed limit's 85 miles an hour. We were crawling, absolutely crawling, because it rained so hard. Of course, here I am going, man, this is great. My buddy Jimmy, in the Bromfields, Julie's like, shut up. And I'm like, no, this is great. The rain is off. And of course, I keep going on my phone, checking my app. I'm like, Rancho Bandito, how much rain we getting, which, by the way, we did get cumulative over 72 hours. We did get 5 inches.
I believe it.
So we are approaching already. Here we are in July. We are getting close. I think we're at 31 inches. We average 35 inches a year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, the bands and everything went up there. I mean, a ton of waters helped out like Lake Travis, Colorado, Williamson. So Georgetown was underwater.
Yes, I saw that.
San Angelo.
Yep.
I mean, wow. It covered a huge part of the state.
Right.
It's crazy. And sat there for a while.
Oh yeah. No. So let's bring up the next little topic. So now we've addressed obviously the horrible realities of all this. I think you and I have always talked openly about the way that this country is going, and how the division seems to grow and grow every year. I mean, obviously obviously groups get together, and the conservatives and Republicans are strong right now because of this and this and that, and then the Democrats and the liberals or whoever are over here, and they're completely in tatters right now, and and it's this, the country is extremely divided, and I don't think even if Jesus himself were the president, I don't think he could bring this country more glued together. Well, you have these radical idiots, such as this idiot coal of a human being from New York, mind you, okay, who's the pediatrician. The pediatrician in Houston, who made the comment, on social media. My heart goes out to all the animals and people affected by this, except for the MAGA voters. You know, you get what you pay for, or you get which is just
that is like the worst karma creating thing you can possibly do in your life.
I made the comment. I'm like, I wonder if she's going to live to see Friday.
Yeah,
and it's funny, and it won't be some radical MAGA guy. It'll be some mom. Like, really.
Yeah, right.
And it scares me because, and you can relate to this probably better than I can because your kids are a little bit younger. But when we first had Abby, we're like, okay, gotta find a pediatrician. What are we doing here? And you put your faith and your trust wholeheartedly, in your creation here. You don't even know this guy or this girl. So Can you imagine if you're sitting there on your phone and like, hey, honey, the pediatrician's on the news, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
It's scary. And then you
a pediatrician who says that in general about something where all these kids were killed, basically.
It's
what kind of human being are you?
Well, and so that brings me to
Cole, like you said, basically.
That's bringing me kind of my next point. You're looking at you want to talk about a war. You want to talk about all out conflict of sides. It's the Nazis versus the Allies. Who the Nazis, and Stalin. I know what you're thinking, but they indiscriminately just killed people that didn't care. And it's like, obviously this pediatrician didn't kill anybody, but she's basically saying, I don't give a shit about this kid because of its parents.
Well, it's the mentality that it's probably the same mentality that went into the people that went along with all that stuff, in the 20s and 30s or whatever. And all the, it was normal people that went along with it. And I mean, more or less normal, but they had probably psychological aberrations like this lady, and those are the people that, the scum that rose to the top to really take advantage of the situation. So, but you're right. It's exposing even more of the division.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And people are like, oh my God, you're an idiot. Why would you say that? And she, of course, identifies as a Democrat. And, I have no sympathy for the Democrats at all, or whatever they call themselves. But, I do. For the people who are normal Democrats and not these idiot left-wing lunatics that believe that, if you're a guy, you can become a girl. I got to feel a little sorry for these people. It's like, oh, my God, shut your mouth, dude. What are you saying? You're an idiot, It's absolutely awful. Next controversy we will jump into, and I don't know if you've heard this one before. Did you hear what happened? And my timeline's all messed up, but a while back, I think it was in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, it was one of those heavily sanded places where they did some cloud seeding.
Oh, I've heard those that discussion, but I didn't hear about this incident. But I know where you're going with it. I think.
Yeah. Well, okay. You get a chance, look it up. Okay. Because I think, again, Saudi Arabia or Qatar or United Airlines, immigrants, whatever they are, one of those countries did some cloud seeding. I'm not sure why, but apparently it caused just catastrophic flooding.
Oh, really?
And look it up. I'm 98% sure that's exactly what happened. Maybe it was not Kuwait. What's that really rich town? Oh, Qatar. Or is that the
same? Yeah, guitar. Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, they did some of that, and it was horrific. Of course, I'm hearing now that, of course, this is just going down the rabbit hole. That something or somebody did some cloud seeding over Texas, and this is what happened.
Well, I saw that, and I think it's called Rainmaker Technologies, and the CEO tweeted out saying, like, oh, this is horrible. Of course, we're with blah, blah, blah. And he said, we did not have any weather modification flights or projects or whatever. Like on the days leading, or the days, or on that day when that stuff happened. He said the last project or the last thing we were doing, I think, was on July 2nd or something like that. So it's kind of a very weaselly text.
Right.
And a lot of the comments were like, well, okay, but weather takes time to develop.
Yeah, right.
It's not like his weasel answer was like we didn't do it then.
Yeah.
But they did it like right before.
Right. Yeah.
Like, wait a minute here.
Yeah. God, can you imagine?
I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Like just the fact that it's out there, there's gotta be some sort of investigation but at the same time, I mean, this all came from that tropical storm that came up through Mexico and everything. Right. So it's like,
that's right.
Did they exacerbate it possibly? Right. Like, what they do cause it to stall or to grow a little bit there? Right. Or was it nothing? I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? The very fact that they admitted to even doing things kind of right before, it just calls everything into question.
Oh God! It's going to be a scandal for years to come. And unfortunately, and just it makes me sick thinking about it, is that the fallout from this, didn't have enough people to know weather radio, and the setback from the river and the sirens and the lawsuits and all that kind of stuff, unfortunately, is going to be the most present thing you see in the news, and the victims of this will be lost. As far as we'll kind of be lost in the back pages, and that is an absolute travesty. It just the whole thing. It just, I don't know.
Well, I tell you what, I think it's a combination of me getting older and having young children.
Yeah,
that there hasn't been something to this point in my life that has affected me emotionally.
Yep.
Like this one. And maybe the third aspect of it is the fact that we were on the river when it rose from the same rainstorm and saw that rise, even though it was nothing like what
was
like at Kerrville. But I mean, just kind of being there around that dynamic with my children and everything, I mean, it's I don't know, it's crazy. I can't. I mean, I empathize a lot more. I mean, you can never imagine what the parents are going like, but my mind, like on Sunday and Monday, was constantly thinking about Poppy and Jeb, and my God, what if that happened? I feel so bad for those folks.
And me too. I was honestly kind of in a funk. Here we are on the beach, and and we all were.
Yeah.
And I was thankful we were at the beach because I couldn't get any signal down there because I just couldn't stop. I couldn't stop watching it. My dad, the owner of Rancho Bandito, is not he's a very passionate man, but he does not get choked up, nor does he get too emotional about things, and for example, he's still angry at the Japanese for Pearl Harbor.
You mean the Germans?
The Germans, right. Totally forgot about that. Or the Croatians. Another conspiracy there. But even he was, and still is, just absolutely shook up about this,
Yeah. And while we were there, Laura's like, she didn't, but her and then our friend, they have daughters, Poppy and Sage. They're the same age. And they were talking in January. They're like, we need to get Poppy and Sage on the wait list for Camp Mystic. They never did. Now, I mean, the fact that they didn't get on that wait list years ago, probably, it's tough because it's a long wait list. But it's funny they were just talking about that, and then like hearing that, it's like, oh my gosh, it kind of brings it home a little,
Well, my cousins have gone to on my dad's side. They go to Camp Longhorn every single year, which is right down there. I know one of our friends' daughters went. Both of them actually went to Mo Ranch a lot. Now, I don't. That's in that general area. God, it's just it is something else. But I think there is, I was about to say the lesson here. There is no lesson here. I think that what we ended up telling our girls is, guys, this is another example of how you could be riding high and then your life is in the crapper instantly. So and this is something that I believe in, and I have learned, and I'm not as good at it. I'm working on it, but I am trying to take advantage of every living second I have, because you don't know.
Right.
You just don't know. And
well, that's the lesson for the living, I mean, it's, that can happen, and that was the big thing for me. It's like, and take advantage of it with your children and all your family.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? Very similar to like a 9/11 type thing. In the next couple of years, we're not going to be as numb as we are right now. But it's important that you never forget, and you recognize that something like this will happen again. Not here. Who knows? And it's just, boy. Anyway. But again, our thoughts and prayers and everything that we got from this little thing that we do here is out to all those people who've been affected by that. And it is crazy how many people that know somebody who is affected by this.
You and I are 1 degree away from a ton of people that have been affected by this.
Absolutely. So.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is.
This one was a deeper one than we usually do.
Well, yeah, it is. And I also think it shows that I know we're always sitting there yakking it up about this and about that, but it's good. We're fathers, we're husbands, and we're Texans. I tell you that is the one thing. The outpour of support from the state has been absolutely insane.
Yeah, I would put the outpour that we're seeing now for this from fellow Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to offend non-Texans out there, but I mean, I put it above probably what would happen anywhere else. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
It is,
and which is very, in a weird way, very encouraging to me.
Oh, it is.
With all the crap going on, like we were talking about in the country and everything, that at some point we'll come together here. And whatever happens with the rest of the country, whatever. But I think I still believe that this state, the people of this state, will come together and will make this state the greatest country in the world again.
Well, that being said, when they were interviewing people, I saw African Americans, I saw Hispanics, I saw like a rapper, I think from Houston, who was down there, and who was helping out, because it doesn't, ultimately we have one identity, it's a human being, B, you are a Texan, and that's just what you do. You help out your fellow Texans, and this is just an incredible example that, also the extremely well-to-do Texans are stepping up in a tremendous way. George Strait just gave out $1 million. He actually helped move some stuff. Allegedly, he did meet with a lot of the families. He's paying for their funeral expenses and setting up college funds. Are you kidding me?
Right.
I mean, and I get the goosebumps thinking about it, because I'm just like, God have mercy, and just talk about beyond selfless. And guess what? Old George Strait ain't doing it for the damn publicity.
Right.
He's doing it because he cares, and that's what this is all about. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
So.
Yep, for sure.
Yep,
for sure.
All right. Well, let's move on down. Let's move on down that path, and next time we'll talk about something more jovial. Like, I got a really good topic. How about unfortunately, it involves rain, but how about the fact that, knock on wood, we have yet to really approach. Well, we're getting close to the 100 degrees, but it's it's in July, and it's been, and again, it's been wet. But what an incredible year! Something we'll be really interested to see is the dove hunting, tank hunting fallout from this. Because I've seen summers like this. They're rare, and it ain't.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, with all that rain around here now, and every dang stock tank everywhere, and whatever else is totally full.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even if it stopped raining between now and September, they're still going to have probably 5 times more water around here than we did at September of last year.
Oh, there's
even accounting for that evaporation between now and then.
Yep. There's no doubt. I always say that, if it stopped raining in June at Rancho Bandito, but we got a storm or two in July or in August, we'd be more than fine. And here we are getting 5 inches in early July. And that's just, it's nuts.
Well, on top of all the others
that's right.
Through,
right.
So
right. That's right. So
yeah, I guess duck hunting will be interesting.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be.
You just got to be a little more strategery.
Well, no doubt. No. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to this one. If you have the means, try to, there are 2. Well, there's one main charity they're trying to push people to. I think it's the Kerrville Community Fund, I think is what it's called. I actually had it up here because Sunshine Tinda, we're going to donate, and we'll do something Feed Bandit wise.
Yeah.
I wish we were fully launched to where, because I saw, which is great that I see a lot of brands doing like, we're donating proceeds, blah blah, and all that stuff.
I'd love to do that. Yeah. Well, I don't want to do that because there's been a reason to do it. If we have the ability to do it because of something, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yes. But we'll do it in other ways, and we hope you do too, dear listener. Just find that website, donate whatever you can there. I'm sure they're still probably asking people not to come up there just to not get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I mean, do what you can. And help out a fellow Texan.
Absolutely.
It'll come back, but it's still it's a tragedy for everyone affected. And I don't know what else to say. Try not to have a tear in my eye, but we appreciate y'all listening to this one. We'll come back with other hunting subjects and things of that nature. Of course, that's what we do here. Texas history, hunting, hunting review, hunting strategies, etc. So if you're new to the podcast, keep tuning in and get a lot of stuff. Look at our past podcasts; you'll get an idea of kind of the subjects we cover here. And I learn something every day doing the podcast. I learn every time we do the podcast. I learn that I don't know much. I learned how little I know, about things, even though, you've been hunting a lot longer than me, but I'm coming up on, I guess I'm over 20 years now.
I think it was 2005 when you shot that 7-point.
Yeah. So it'll be
no spike.
I have it actually. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Nice.
I have your deal. Nope. Okay. It'll be 19 years. November 4th. 2006. Was that deer. But I'd been hunting birds with since.
Yeah, that's true.
For 3 years before that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a 20-year man.
Yeah. I'm an antique now. So
I love it.
But anyway.
Awesome.
We'll stop rambling here. Thank you all for listening to this one. We'll see you on the next one. And what do we always say?
We are going to say support your local feed store, and today we are going to say God bless, stay in Texas.
Yes, sir.
Well, I hope the Bandits gave you an interesting episode that either entertained or educated you. Or better yet, both. Hell, I told them this podcasting thing looks harder to do than defeating Santa Ana. So if you would, please help them out by sharing it with all your like-minded friends to help the Bandits get the word out. And don't forget to check us out at feedbandit.com and grab some gear and apparel to support the cause of Texas. Remember, Texas, above all else, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Finally, as I said some time ago on the eve of the great battle, and I vigorously repeat here again, be men. Be free men, that your children may bless their father's name. Well, fellow bandit, until next time.